Gabe, look up there. Hey guys, this is my dog Gabriel. Sorry, I'm leading kind of weird, but God has just blessed us with this little puppy. We named him after the angel Gabriel, but I thought I'd just introduce you to him real quick. But yeah, I'm going to talk on some quick topics real quick about prophecy, and I've been doing some observation here on YouTube and just praying and trying to seek God's will. But some things that's come to mind is my uncle Larry. It was a pastor, is a pastor, and he used to tell me people would kind of idolize this office of being a pastor. Woo! And it was a struggle for him because people would expect him to be perfect. And in the same way, a lot of prophets have been coming to YouTube, and they have these huge expectations. Like we all place too big of expectations on people. And so we have these prophets on YouTube like me and everything, and people have these expectations that you're going to be perfect. And so what have I learned from this? I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm kind of tall. I'm like 6 feet inches tall. You can't really tell that through the YouTube video, but let's say I'm the biggest prophet, and but I'm just speaking figuratively speaking. But growing up, I've gone through a lot of painful things, and one thing I've learned is being tall. People have a lot of misconceptions about big people. Sometimes they expect us to be bullies. Like if somebody watches a movie and there's some big guy on there, he's bullying everyone around. Then after that person watches that movie, they see a bully person, automatically they'll try and force that misconception onto me, right? I've had that happen multiple times in my life. I've never met them before, like I remember being a kid on recess, and these kids would come approach me, like treat me like I'm some bully. I've never met them before, and they want to teach me a lesson. And this happened once. I was a little kid, and they came up to me and started pushing me around, and I just kind of took it because I was a little kid, and I was taught in the Bible just to turn the other cheek, so I did. And the teacher came over and split us up, and then we had like a little meeting, and the kids they're just kids, the kids do stupid stuff, and after that they're great people. People make mistakes. So I just been thinking about stuff like this and asking God to try and understand things. But I was wondering if we could have some kind of like prophet summit where we can, all of us as prophets can gather together, and we can kind of understand how to use our spiritual gifts to build the church up, and also how to build each other up. From one perspective, I would like to be able to lift some of the smaller prophets up. When I was in Africa, the thing I would love to do is put little kids on my shoulders. So I'd like the opportunity to bless some of you prophets, smaller prophets, and put you on my shoulders so you can see out further, right? And then I also want to stoop down and kind of see things from your perspective, because we're all equally valuable. Like the smaller prophets are just as wonderful and amazing as the bigger prophets. And maybe that's why God's made me tall, but just like as symbolically. But it's just, I've been in engineering for a while, and you just learn to value everything, because everybody's got like one puzzle piece to life. And some of the smaller prophets, I feel like I'm kind of like the giant prophet, and they're the ones that like have pulled me out. Like I am more insecure than a lot of these smaller prophets, and them just going on during all this time and being unfazed. I'm like, wow, these guys are awesome. They have been building me up for quite a while, and I'm like, can I come and build you up now? Let me put you on my shoulders. Thank you for sticking in the fight. Let me lift you up. Let me give you a break from all your bruisings and all these people trying to beat you up all the time, because I know what it's like being a giant, because like people are always trying to pick a fight with me sometimes on some things, and I want to help all you smaller prophets. Like, let me come and be your big guns and kind of fight off all these other people for a while and kind of give you some support and some healing and encouragement. And then, and in turn, like, tell me about your hurts and your pains, and we can kind of share, and maybe God can help us heal. And then as iron sharpens iron, so does one man another. I would say that you can sharpen me and I can sharpen you, and like we can all kind of be enamored by God's amazing gifts to each of us and learn how amazing each of our prophecy is. Because when you prophesy, you only get it's only one piece of this infinite amount of prophecy, and we can kind of see, try to put some pieces together. And I guess in some analogy, the smaller prophets can see things closer, which is just as important as seeing things further off in the distance. I'm not saying that's all the time, but I'm just using it as an analogy. They're just as important. Just like in war, you have soldiers with machine guns that are fighting right there on the lines, and then you have these big artillery guns. We need it all in the spiritual warfare. So I don't know if I'm going to get any feedback on this. I love a lot of the prophets on YouTube, like Chris Yoon. I've been watching him, and I think the other one's Liberty from Spirit Move Ministries. And then there's another one, Troy Black. I don't know if you guys ever watch them, but they have a pretty big following, but that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. I mean, it's a good blessing, but I try to think of prophecy, it's hard to put value on it, because Elijah was one of the biggest powerful, I guess there's a big anointing on Elijah and Elisha, but I don't know what their life was like exactly. Just because you have a big following doesn't mean you're more important or anything. It's just, what if the other prophet that was leaving the other prophet had no following, but he was teaching the other prophet who had 1,000 prophets? So who's more powerful? You can't really add value, because they're kind of both equally important. So I guess my mission would be to just bring equality and maybe help the church understand what prophecy is for and how we can build up the church with prophecy. And in the grander scheme of things, my uncle Dennis, he told me he wasn't a giant, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not a giant either. In the bigger scheme of things, God is so much bigger than me, and infinitely, you know what I'm saying? So just because one prophet's a little bit bigger than the other, in comparison to how big God is, the differences between me and this other prophet they mean nothing. Love is far more powerful, and I just love it when everybody can enjoy each other's gifts, and we can all revel and enjoy each other's fellowship. So this is the purpose of why I'm making this video. Hopefully it's not too long. It's 8 minutes long, but may the Lord bless and keep you all.